Good morning and welcome again to Paul T's World. And in this video we're going to have a comprehensive look at the back garden. Obviously quite a lot has gone on in this last year. There are some old favourites, but there are some new plants as well and plantings that are underway. But first of all, I'd just like to say thank you so much for the glorious welcome back to YouTube that my subscribers have sent me. So I really appreciated that. So let's get on with a tour around the back garden. Let's start off on the patio and have a little look round and see what we can see. And first of all, we've got the two aces. Absolutely gorgeous, bright green leaves at this time of the year. This one's really thick, and in fact I thought that it was going to thin out quite a lot because there was some dead branches here or twigs that I've cut off, but it's really responded and is growing thickly. I haven't yet got down to clearing the pots yet of the winter weeds. I put those stones there to stop the blackbirds throwing out the compost. Now, contrary to popular belief, I think aces are quite tough because I needed last year to repot these. They were rather pot bound, but I didn't have any bigger pots. So I simply took them out of the pot, freshened them up a little bit, only a little bit of course, and put them back in, and they've responded beautifully. Plants really respond to being repotted, fresh compost, some slow release fertilizer, and they're set up for the summer. The Cotoneaster and the Euonymus are still just growing nicely. They've been there a few years. And last year I planted up a little Euonymus to match the other side of the back door. It's very shady here, so it might take a while for that to grow. And growing up and over the pergola is a grapevine. So the postman gave me this grapevine a few years ago. Oh, and it's so vigorous, you can cut it back quite far, and the nice large leaves cover the pergola to give some shade in the summer. Oh, and I really need to repaint some of this wood, but I don't want to do it now because of course the plants are growing up it. We've got the climbing roses and the clematises. I want to reinvigorate these clematises because I've got no flowers along the post. They're all in pots. I've got 4 pots, 1 at each post. Quite large pots. I have to water quite a lot to make sure that these plants can do well in these pots. Oh, I'm just going to go straight over to the sweet gum tree because the robin is in there. Look at the robin, can you see him there? He always sits on that one little branch. That's his branch. Fabulous. The blackbird goes in the silver birch up there and the robin in the sweet gum. Of course, it's May. This is the best month of all for the birds singing. Of course, the robin and the blackbird sing not exactly all year, but they do a good job for 9 months of the year. This is the time. This is the time in Britain we have I've forgotten what we have. Gosh, I am getting old. I'm a year older now. What do we have? We have the dawn chorus. So If you live in Britain, get up at 5 in the morning on a nice clear morning in the woods, in the garden, and just sit and listen to the birds. They're all claiming their territory and their partners. It's fabulous. Let's see what else we've got. The camellia is being spruced up. I've just used the hedge trimmers, put it into shape. Flowers are over now, it flowers nice and early. I've just popped some hostas around the patio. And what else have we got? I've got some Aeonium Schwarzkopf, and I've literally cut the heads off and potted them up, so we'll see how that does. It will also encourage extra side growths here when you take the top off an Aeonium. The lace cap hydrangea is growing strongly. I've taken some cuttings of various hydrangeas, weigelas, dogwoods. Did that last year in the autumn. And here are a couple of the clematis cuttings that I did last year. They're doing well, I'm really pleased with them. And guess what we've got here? Anybody recognize this? And this one. I swapped these for some cannas and dahlia cuttings I'd made. And what have we got here? Tetrapanax. Paul World's going tropical. Let's see what happens. I'll be showing you more in just a minute of my new tropical interest. The Asiatic lilies been growing nicely. I've already staked them when they were a lot lower, so I've put some twine round here. Now they're growing up even higher. I'll have to put a little bit more. But of course, as you know, if you have lilies, you have to be on lily beetle watch. So each morning if I come out, or when I come out, I just have a little look to see if there are any lily beetles. I cut back the pyracantha quite heavily last year because I couldn't reach the window. Well, this is a little azalea that had finished flowering, was growing a little bit floppy, so I've repotted it and cut it right back, and that will be growing beautifully over this summer and ready to flower again next year. In Britain, all the lilacs are out at the moment. Smelling absolutely gorgeous. Flowering currant. These flowering currant, they flower really early in the year and they can get a little bit leggy, so I'm going to actually cut all this back to thicken it up. In fact, I should do it now so it's got all year to thicken up, ready for next year. There's the two large hostas. They're going to do well again this year. The blueberry has just started flowering. Once again, I haven't yet cleaned the pot from the winter weeds. Need to do that. Sweet peas are ready, planted and starting to grow. Got a nice little obelisk here, bought from one of the garden centres. Now I've been doing a lot here. I'm clearing up this area back here that got completely overgrown. I'm going to plant that up nicely then this coming year. The pond has had a lot of work. The water lilies were getting out of hand, so I actually brought them right out of the pond, split them up, and I've now put 3 of them back in, and they've started to send up their first leaves. The marsh marigolds, the yellow marsh marigolds, are over now. They look glorious really when they're fully out. I split a few of them this spring and put them at the far edge there because I've cleaned this up here. We've got the flag iris, the yellow irises. In fact, there's a flower going to come out there. The bog bean are starting to flower. They grow all around the pond, and so here's some more. So what I'm going to do is once they finish flowering, I'll collect them all up and put them in one place so they make a nice feature. The agapanthus, let's hope they flower this year. I'm going to feed them more this year and see if I can get them to flower. They did not flower last year, a bit disappointing. And this bed here is going to be my tropical bed. Yep, Paul-T's World's going tropical. And I'm going to put all the tropical plants or the subtropical plants round the pond on this bed, and let's see what it looks like. There's going to be cannas, tetrapanax, palms. What else is there going to be? Oh, I've got a Fatsia japonica back there that gives a little bit of a tropical feel. Iricenes, I'm getting 2 lots of banana plants, the Abyssinian red banana and the Mazu Baju, which is more hardy, in fact can stay out all winter. So let's see what I've done so far. I've planted the little cannas. These are Happy Carmen. I bought them last year and overwintered them. Oh, and this shouldn't be here, it's an Aquilegia. It'll have to come out, but I wanted to leave it because it's flowering. Oh, the large poppies are staying in, see how they do. And we've got the alliums. This is a nice little at the moment, palm tree. Very hardy down to -15 or so, -15 centigrade. I've left some of the London Pride. I know it isn't particularly tropical, just that these London Pride hold the soil in because the soil is very thin here, not very deep. And so I'm trying to build it up higher. So I need these little things, and then I need a plant at the edge to also hold in soil so I can fill soil up higher behind it. This is a Brugmansia that I overwintered in the garage in a dormant state. And here are a couple of cannas that I've just planted. And this one, yeah, what's this? Eric Neubert. That's a Cleopatra. I've just popped in a hosta there. Oh, the back of the pond here. This is where I've just bought 3 plants. The water forget-me-not, creeping Jenny, and this one here that I can't remember at the moment, but I will put it up on the screen. And these plants here I've taken from other parts of the pond. There's more marsh marigolds in the background. Not very tropical, but it's going to flower, so it's staying for this season, and this is the Weigela. Now it seems to me the Weigela like to flower on the previous year's wood. So if you cut it back after it's flowered, it'll then send off these nice branches, and it flowers nicely along those branches. So once this is flowered, I'll take all these branches off. There's a large mock orange back here. And just going over is the Honesty. And here are the seed heads. It seeds really well. So if you leave your Honesty, you'll find little seedlings all round, so they'll grow in a nice display the following year. Oh yes, remember in the last video I was talking about the oak-leafed hydrangea, and thank you very much indeed to the people who told me more about oak-leaf hydrangeas, particularly in the United States, because I think it's native there, isn't it, in the southeast of the United States? Well, I showed you one oak-leaf hydrangea, and look at this, I've got another two. So this is another one that I've planted here, and this one is called Amethyst. Some lily of the valley have seeded themselves round here. Some foxgloves in the background. Little hellebore that flowered obviously over Christmas and the New Year into about February, March. Some rhubarb that I actually dug up a few years ago, but a little bit obviously I didn't dig up, and it's decided it's going to grow. The white Weigela. I've done some cuttings of this, and it really takes easily as cuttings, Weigela. I think I would like to thicken it up. I can see some strong stems here. And so what I'm going to do to thicken this up, I like it large, but I'm going to thicken it up by cutting a few of them off here. I'll probably cut them off just above a node here and get more shoots going. So that just leaves the shed bed and the lawn bed, which we'll see along with the plug plants that I grew for them last year in the next video. Bye for now from Paul T's World.